put me down! Don't put me down! Don't put me down!
I used to be a cop.
A dirty cop? There's a list of people that want to toss him off roofs.
Oh, you're seeing this stuff, I finally puke.
You got a dirty little
I trust you, Iris.
Then run, Barry. Run.
Hey, look, it's a flash!
If I were you, I would start running.
I gotta go.
You're gonna write down that he ran out of here, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Joe, I'm pregnant.
We're gonna need more diapers.
Diapers. You keep drawing, buddy. You keep drawing. I'm gonna figure this out.
Machete versus Cisco on The Flash next week. We got so many new characters to break down. So there's a new round, I'll say Flash Ring giveaway, just because everybody's asking for the Flash Ring over the Justice League tickets. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. But obviously, I'm hyping up Danny Trejo on The Flash, but there's several other new characters that they just introduced, especially with the Joe West tag from the end of last week's episode. I'm pregnant. We're gonna need more diapers. So if you wonder why so many people in your timelines are talking about Daniel West, if you're not a big comic book reader, I'll explain all that. But starting with the big stuff first, the new characters they're introducing next week are Breacher, who's going to be Gypsy's father. That's Danny Trejo's character. He's a big comic book villain from the New 52, but I don't think that he's going to be like a super evil person on The Flash. I think he's just going to be really angry and think that Cisco's not good enough for Gypsy. And as a result of that, he's going to kick his ass. Like you see him going after them in the trailer. When you see those two big blasts of red energy hitting the Flash and the elongated man here, that's Breacher coming after them. So it looks like something happens with Cisco, like he says in the trailer, you better start running now. They need to cut a Grindhouse version of the trailer where it's just Danny Trejo chasing Cisco down.
machete. In space.
So you have the relationship comedy stuff happening where it's like the angry dad chasing him down, but it also seems like Barry is trying to protect the elongated man because so many people are after him too. So a lot of the comedy of the episode is that Barry has to protect his friends and this new person who you kind of hear in the trailer that he's not super happy about. Like he says he's a dirty cop. So sort of moving into elongated man territory, you get a bit of a preview for what his powers look like. There's going to be all kinds of jokes. Does every part of his body stretch out? So we know that on The Flash, he's going to lie about where he got his powers from. But very clearly in the promo, they paste his picture up on that board of 12. So either they figure out that he was on that bus, or they think he's on the bus and he wasn't on the bus. So there's going to be some twist in the episode about where he got his powers. But I think based on some of the evidence in last week's episode where the Thinker talked about how people are easily manipulated and he's trying to create these 12 and manipulate them, that the elongated man was somebody who was down on his luck just like Hazard was. So if the Thinker's creating a villain team up, wouldn't you go after a dirty cop? But I think the twist is because Elongated Man is a good character in the comics, is that he'll have a change of heart. Like not all of the 12 people on the bus will be total dirtbags. Like Kilgore is very clearly a villain. He'll do whatever the Thinker tells him to do. But I wouldn't be surprised because he does come off as a dirtbag if he flip-flops allegiances a couple times. Like they make you wonder if he really is working with Team Flash or if he's just a double agent for the Thinker. But like I said, I think it's supposed to be a more hopeful twist, so hopefully they won't kill him at the end of the season after he tries to help save Team Flash. Usually that's the twist, is like the dirtbag becomes a good person by the end of the season, and then something really bad happens to them. So we'll see how his character works out. I'm not super familiar with the actor, but he's been on a couple other series before. But moving into diaper territory, Joe West, the baby, Cecile, there are so many different ways they could shake this down. So when Barry said we're going to need more diapers, it implied that they already knew that babies were on the way. So it sounds like Joe will tell everybody else, hey, Cecile just told me that she's pregnant, we're having another child, and everybody's really happy about that. They're really happy about the wedding of Barry and Iris coming up, and that's all they're thinking about. But then later on, Iris probably finds out that she's pregnant, and surprise, we're gonna need more diapers. So of all the gibberish that Barry blurted out in episode 1, they've already paid off 3 of those things, and we've only had 3 episodes so far. So I wouldn't be surprised if they paid off those Easter eggs before we got to the mid-season finale. The one thing I'm not super sure about is Iris being pregnant. That would be crazy if they did that before the midseason finale because you already have this Cecile baby on the way, so it just feels like way too much to get everybody pregnant all at the same time. For those of you wondering why everybody's talking about Daniel West because of Joe and Cecile's big twist, Daniel West was the Reverse Flash of the New 52 comics. They had changed the familial relationships, so Iris West had a brother named Daniel instead of Wally like the TV show. There's a number of changes that the TV show has already made to the classic comics. Like in the comics, Wally West is a ginger character. During the New 52, he became an African American. More recently, the African-American Wally West in the comics found out that Daniel West is actually his father. So there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening in the comics that doesn't totally make sense, so don't worry about that for the TV show. It's just the idea that if you're going to go with comic book characters, there are only a couple of Wests that they haven't used the names of so far. The biggest one being Daniel. And what happened to him in the comics is that he just fell on hard times. They grew up in an abusive household, so obviously a lot of that they're probably not going to do on The Flash, but that led to him getting Speed Force powers. Then because he'd led such a bad life and gotten in trouble so much, he was so disillusioned with society, he decided to use his Speed Force powers for evil, and that's when he became the Reverse Flash. A lot of you have asked if they're going to give the twins to Cecile, like they'll do the Tornado twins, but it'll be Joe and Cecile that have them, and that's how you get to Bart Allen eventually. But when they do really big characters, they try to be as faithful as possible, so I don't know exactly how they're going to shake down this Iris pregnancy storyline, or if they're going to go in a completely different direction, so we'll have to wait for some more evidence. But think about it this way, could you imagine a TV show like The Flash that's built around them taking down metahumans, the Flash learning about new abilities, them unlocking new comic book characters, taking care of 3 separate babies in next season? That would be crazy. So obviously there's going to be some big twist. They'll find some easy workaround because I feel like that would bring the plot to a grinding halt if you have to have a baby scene in every single episode. But a lot of that's just speculation. Just because people say that they're pregnant doesn't mean that the babies will be born, although I don't think the show is so pessimistic that it would kill a baby. So if Cecile is pregnant and she doesn't miscarry or something like that, I think the baby will be born even if she winds up dying by the end of the season. But things just got super crazy, and if you don't know, what happened is they just introduced a character on Legends of Tomorrow from the Black Adam comics. I can't say her name out loud because it's like a banned term. It's the name of a terrorist organization, so they're just calling her Zari Tomaz. That's just her name from the comics. There was also a TV show based on her character where there was an amulet, so there are a lot of Easter eggs for that. But the way they're explaining her powers is that she kind of has airbender powers like Aang or Korra. So if you ever watch Last Airbender, that's kind of how it works. There's a whole bunch of other videos that are coming up this week that I'll try to get through. Just look at the top comment that I pin in the comments for announcements about what videos are coming next. Congratulations to Mike Julian, you're the latest giveaway winner. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. You can click here for my Flash Episode 3 video, and you can click here for brand new Star Wars The Last Jedi footage. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.